Just about ready for the introductions of the teams, and we can join our court announcer.
Would you please welcome our first team, representing Bulgaria. Alexander Lazarov, Gogana Topolova, Adrian Andreev, Isabella Shinikova, Dimitar Kuzmanov, Victoria Tomova, and Bulgaria's playing captain, Grigor Dimitrov. And their opponents for today's session, representing Greece. Sappho Sekalaridis. Greece's playing captain, Petros Tsitsipas. Valentini Grammatikopoulou. Sekalaridis, Despina Papamichail, Mikhail Pevelarakis, Maria Sakkari, and Stefanos Tsitsipas. If you are able, please be upstanding for the national anthems of Bulgaria and Greece.
Always a stirring moment, no matter what level, no matter where, when you hear your national anthem played. And it's hot out there, and unless you make mention when they walked out with the jackets on, and Grigor Dimitrov was very quick to undo his when he was standing out there in the blazing sun. It's an air-conditioned stadium, match time under their belt.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept, isn't it? Great fan engagement, though, listening to the captains with their instructions to players.
Well, Apostolos Tsitsipas, who has been the captain for Greece at the past 2 ATP Cups, he's handed the duties over to Petros, but he's still down there. And for Team Bulgaria, Dimitrov at some point will have to go and warm up for his match. So he'll have to leave the team benches. There's Petros having a good conversation with Despina Papamichail, 29-year-old, who's... both of these players have spent most of their time on the ITF circuit. They've had a lot of wins, so they've got a lot of experience, but this is a new level for them.
Yeah, and Dave, both hitting their straps towards the latter part in their career, and I think that's really a trend that we're seeing a lot more. Tennis, obviously, such a physical sport, and in the women's game, it's certainly elevated itself.
So John Blom is in the chair for this opening encounter.
So this is Tilly. She's going to do the coin toss for us. So just a few things first. For the bathroom breaks, if you need to go, there's one just through that door on the right. So don't go back to the locker room, just use the nearest one. For the towels, there's blue and yellow. So you take the blue one, it's in those boxes there, and you take the yellow one. You'll see the tape inside the box. Everything else is the same as normal on WTA Tour. 6 balls, 7 and 9. Any questions? No?
We don't do have a... Can we call the balls or?
No, it's electronic line, so automatic, yeah. But you can ask to see a replay if it's very close, but normal... No, and it's not like that, no. All right, Tilly, it's your turn. You take the coin, and we'll just ask one of the players, would you like heads or tails? Heads? Okay, all yours. Up you go, big toss. Yep, good. Tails? Receive. All right, we'll just make a photo first. Okay, so you're receiving, you're serving, and we'll make a photo the other way. The other way. Yeah.
So Shinikova will serve once we've got through the warm-up. Chile, good job there on the toss of the coin. And it gives us an opportunity to take a little closer look at the two combatants here for this opening encounter. It's Group A, Match 1. Greece versus Bulgaria. As Alicia Molik mentioned, pretty evenly matched in terms of what they've been able to produce at the peaks of their career so far. For the Bulgarian, 31 years of age, currently ranked 333, but back in 2017 was up to 133, and that probably gives an indication of what she's capable of. Neither of these players have made it onto the Grand Slam stage. They've been close on a number of occasions. Shinikova falling at the qualifying round 3 stage at the US Open, a couple of times through to the second round of qualies at the Australian Open, a couple of quarterfinals on the ITF circuit, first time in Perth for her. And they have met once before. It was the ITF event in Tunisia last year, round of 16, where Papamichail had the win. When you've been up into the 133s, you're almost on that verge of direct entry into Grand Slams, etc. I know it was 2017, so it was a while ago, but you're capable.
Well, never say never. I mean, that's my opinion. Currently at the age of 31. What impresses me, though, Dave, she does own 22 singles titles on the ITF Tour and 31 in doubles. And there's no question that element of competing on the doubles court has helped her singles game and her get to this point.
Here's Papamichail. 159 in singles, close to her lifetime best. It was 147, came in June last year. 15 titles on the ITF circuit. Semi-final in Tunisia and the Czech Republic last year, made the final in Italy. Grand Slam qualifier regular as well, so she's looking to take that next step. 29 years of age. Twice she's made it through to second round at WTA, for 3 times Tokyo, Budapest and Valencia. And 15 titles, you talked about the 22 that Shinikova's won. That tournament play, to get through, no matter what level, to get to the final stage and win is important.
Oh, absolutely. There's no substitution for matches, first of all. Second of all, to know and feel exactly what it's like to win a title. Nothing, absolutely nothing can replace that. But real positive, though, just in last October, reaching her career high was Papamichail.
So win predictor is on the head-to-heads. I reckon Papamichail will have the win predictor, but that's the head-to-head, just the one meeting. Fortunate today, we've got two former top teners, one alongside me and Alicia Mollick, and downstairs, former world number 4 in Jelena Dokic. Welcome, Jelena, to you. It's warm down on the court, a bit air-conditioned where you are, but what are you expecting from this opening encounter? Get back to Jelena. She's there. She's busily talking. You can see the mouth moving, but nothing was coming out. There you go.
Here we go. Yeah. Great to be with you here both. And there's so much excitement, isn't it? A new event, the men and women coming together here. And I know talking to a lot of the players, they're so excited to be here. And back here in Perth, so good to have the tennis back. But talking about the conditions, I'm here in the shade, in the air-conditioned part, as is all of the stands because of the heat here. It is 32 degrees at the moment. It's supposed to get up to 35, but both Mark Philippousis and I were down on the court this morning just doing a bit of our homework, and let me tell you what, out on the court it's not just 32 degrees, and a lot hotter than what it is here, but it is a lot more than that. It is very hot, so I think the conditions today are going to play a huge part in this match. And as you guys mentioned, they played last year. They had a massive match, 7-6 in the third on hard court, so I think the conditions might play a huge part in it today. And the nerves as well. It is such a big match, a big stadium to open the day up, and a lot of nervous energy I think will be spent early on. So let's see how that develops. But we're excited down here.
Well, I look forward to checking in with you throughout the opening encounter here. Just about ready to go. He looks anxious, the captain.
A lot on the line.
So keen to get off to a good start for their nations. Team Greece up against Team Bulgaria. There's always that nerves and anxiety, isn't it, for the opening of a new season. Courts are almost the same, but they do get redone each year. The balls may be slightly different. All of that, a bit of an adjustment. Just about ready. Shinikova, it will be, who opens proceedings here for Team Bulgaria.
You talk about the conditions, the balls. That's why it's just so
15.
important here in Australia to arrive early if you do want a successful summer of tennis. And of course, getting used to the heat,
15.
and that's where the courts play differently. When they heat up, as Jelena just explained, the ball really does take off and move quicker through the air. Very different to a European winter.
He's opening a couple of points indicative of how both players approach the match.
15.
They're content to play from the baseline, come in only if really required. It was well set up there by Shinikova.
Forty, 15.
That's clean hitting from Shinikova. Already seeing a slight pattern. Papamichail being pushed deep behind the baseline, covering plenty of ground. In this heat, not ideal.
It's always ambitious to drop shot on these hard courts, and Shinikova takes the opening service game.
It's almost ideal, nice, clean first opening service game. Really interesting to see which way players go, serving or receiving. I always think it's such a positive action, taking the initiative to serve first.
It's one of the things we've seen with the ATP Cup with the second singles players.
Despina Papamichail,
the second-ranked players can very quickly lose their positive mindset if they don't get off to a good start. So for both players, you want to be on the scoreboard and be in the match and give your country a sight as they get things underway.
Love.
Probably the toughness reflected at the moment by Despina Papamichail is the fact that she had her first few WTA tour level wins just last year for the first time in her career. So she's improving. Close one, but makes it easy now with the automatic line calling. One thing we'll miss, though, Dave, is the outbursts, the line calls, but pretty clean and clear for the players now.
Yeah, and I like that too. A bit of argy. Not scared to go for his shots, that's for sure.
Game, Team Greece.
Just wide.
1 game all.
That has just missed by a couple of centimetres. One thing early, Alicia, is that Shinikova's not scared to open the shoulders and have a good go at the ball. If she sees it there, even if missing by a small margin, she's happy to have the crack.
30 love.
Oh, she's winding up pretty well, more so on the backhand wing. But look, a couple of unforced errors there from Papamichail. And when a serve's sent down for a first serve at 108 k's an hour, really have to take care of it. And it is really a no-fuss technique that Shinikova possesses on her backhand wing. And maybe for Papamichail to dominate more into the forehand side of Shinikova.
Easy service
Team
hold.
Bulgaria.
Team Bulgaria
Team
2-1.
Bulgaria lead 2 games to 1.
Positive start. Beautiful part of Australia, Western Australia, lots to see and do. All the way up to Broome, sunset at Cable Beach. Not just round the corner, 2,000 kilometres north of Perth. Prehistoric footprints. Some pictures there. Claims to be the world's oldest outdoor cinema, opened in 1916. John Fitzgerald was there that day, Alicia, to see that movie.
I've been to that cinema. It's fantastic. The old deck chairs.
Beautiful. I know you like to get around Western. You're a local here, but I've only ever been as far south as Margaret River, and that's about it, which is, I need to do more in Western Australia. Such a beautiful, enormous part of the country here in Australia. So positive start for Team Bulgaria.
Plenty of experience there from Dimitrov that he can share with his charge. Often it's keeping your player level.
Building that relationship too. When, you know, he probably hasn't had that much to do with Isabella Shinikova throughout their careers. So, you know, you come together, you've got to get to know your player. You know, you're Billie Jean King Cup captain for Australia. You know the players, you spend time with them. New players come in and you've got to get to know them. But it's an interesting dynamic for the team captains.
Yeah, obviously they won't reinvent the wheel over the course of the week, and sometimes you're there as a support to listen to the player. It's not all about what the captain's delivering. It's to be a support.
Love.
Just saw there with Papamichail's previous serve that the sun can become a little bit of a problem from this end. She's serving from the southern end, but the sun is starting to appear in the gap in the roof where she's looking on the ball toss.
Tough, as you mentioned, for the players in the middle of the sun, but for the crowd, there's no better stadium with the roof being able to be manipulated to a point where the crowd remain in the shade throughout just about all of the day. Seems to be getting up quite high, the bounce of the ball.
15-30.
Both players hitting their forehands with plenty of height. Really important, though, to get up to the ball. Move your feet incredibly well in perfect position. Just got on top of Papamichail right there. And obvious too, they both play a pretty solid game. Very good, I think, at the same strengths, both on the backhand wings. But up until this point, it really has been, I think, Shinikova that has taken more initiative going for the ball earlier in the rallies. She needs to do more of that.
Let's first.
positivity that we've seen early from Shinikova. Brings up the first break point opportunity.
30-40. Game, Team Bulgaria.
A double fault. And first service break we've seen. Helena, there's some real
Bulgaria
positivity
lead by
from
3 games to
Shinikova. I love the way she's attacking this early part of the first set.
Definitely, and she really seems to have settled very early on in this first set for Papamichail. Just there's a little bit more stress on her face, and definitely that double fault, that was a nervous double fault. But what I really like with Shinikova, what she's done and with the way that she's playing, she's going cross-court and building up the point, and then really when that opening is there, she is going down the line. But she's really found her range, and especially for someone that hits the ball quite flat, she's got that range, it's not flying, and she's very, very confident right now, Shinikova.
30 love.
And just a little more measured, as Elena mentioned, just playing the points pretty tough. It's Papamichail who has come up with so many more unforced errors, and really not when she's been under pressure. And let's be honest, in this heat, you want to try and make your opponent move as much as possible. Try and make it as physical as early as you can in the match. It's also part of the strategy. Really try and get some fatigue into your opponent's legs.
Well played. Best rally of the opening set so far.
Oh, it was beautiful timing here from Papamichail, just choosing the correct ball. Did realise that Shinikova was pushed back behind the baseline, and that's the ultimate time and moment to play a drop shot.
She'd done a lot of running to that point as well, Bulgarian, so well executed. Well, she's serving very well, and the first serve goes in. She hasn't lost a point yet. And that was a good time to produce a good opening missile.
Deuce.
Oh, we could see Shinikova there. The last ball toss, just be a little bothered by the sun. There are a couple of ways to tackle
Team
that.
Bulgaria.
Alter your ball toss or use your left arm more so to block the sun as you're tossing the ball.
Deuce.
And the only other way, Dave, practice serving in the sun. You see so many players on the practice court, you know, choose the nice shady end, practice the smashes and serves from there. It's all about practicing like you're going to play.
Didn't matter for you. It didn't matter for you, Alicia.
Team
Sun or
Bulgaria.
not, you were serving down those
A
aces.
machine, correct. Stand and deliver. That's what Mollick did.
And a great, look,
Yes.
a really decent speed on the last serve, 172 k's an hour. So it's also about really staying mentally present. She's got the ability, Shinikova, to hit the ball with pace. I really feel like she can lift it a bit on her second serve as well. Just get more bang for her buck.
Advantage Team Greece.
Critical game though here. I mean, a real opportunity for Shinikova to shut it down if she's able to get this game back.
Needs one of those big first serves right here. And the error, so the break back.
Game Team Greece. Team Bulgaria lead by 3 games to 2.
Well, it's not a break until you hold your serve, and Papamichail breaks back. Get this opening set back on terms.
It was just a little, I think, mental let up from Shinikova. She was in command. I really feel like she was getting the better of her opponent, Papamichail. But a couple of opportunities there where I really feel she could have stepped in and dictated off the first ball, the serve and the +1, where she chose to just play a rally type of ball.
So Team Bulgaria, we're on serve in this opening set, trading service breaks.
Time.
And the Bulgarian fans, they're massed at the end that Shinikova will be returning serve from. They're up and about, supporting their country. You can see the heat really having an effect. Papamichail looks a little distressed when the heat beating down.
15 love.
What goes for me at the moment, Papamichail definitely looks, as you said, Dave, just seems to be spending a little bit more energy in these rallies and just taking a little bit of that extra time in between points and catching her breath, unlike Shinikova. So we'll see how that develops because it is so early on in the match and only 5 games have gone by. But I've also just been looking at both teams and it's interesting because you've mentioned Grigor Dimitrov, the playing captain. He's in the front row and he's really doing the majority of that communication with Shinikova. But for the Greek team, it's Papamichail's coach who's doing majority of that communication, but also even Stefanos's dad, he's there in the front row as well and doing a lot of that. So it's interesting to see because the whole Greek team is getting involved. So Papamichail's coach, but Petros Tsitsipas, who's of course Stefanos's brother, he's the team captain, and you can see Stefanos's dad there in the front row as well. He's getting involved. So very, very different communication between the two teams.
Well, very much a family affair in the Greek team with the Tsitsipas brothers and dad, and also brother and sister combination in Stefanos Sakalarides and his sister Sapfo. Both in the team. Makes life a little easier.
Well, again, it's the beauty of this format, as Yelena mentioned.
40-15.
Yes, there is a team captain, but you're allowed to receive input from others on the bench to a degree. And it is great preparation for all the players, though, have their own coaches on the bench. I don't know about you, Elena, but I wouldn't want too many people in my ear if I was out there.
40-30.
It's always a tough one. You want to hear pretty much the same voice, same message. That's unique, isn't it? Having the encouragement as well from the team area, team zone.
Just gets that extra little bit of power, Shinikova, and the ball comes on so quickly to the racket. Dragging it back to Juice.
Well, it's quite evident immediately after the last sit down. I think that's probably some instruction that Grigor has given her to really try and hit out, go for the ball a little bit more. She was playing a really conservative style. I think she's listening to her captain.
Advantage team Greece.
Well, we've seen that shot a couple of times, and it's powerful.
Juice.
Huge forehand, just biding her time there, waiting for the opportune moment. Ball was a bit shorter. It sat up. Just see her right there. Shinikova stepping into the court. That's key as well. And she possesses that shot. She needs to use it so much more.
Testing the foot speed of Shinikova. Papamichail.
Advantage.
She likes to drop
Team
shots.
Greece.
Third time we've seen it. So she's 2-1 in terms of success rate.
She's also chosen to play them at the right moment as well. But for Shinikova, it really is a matter of watching the racket face of Papamichail, just trying to get a read on exactly what she's about to play. Really have to pay attention to that.
Deuce.
Once again, that forehand from Shinikova. The last two service games have been tight, haven't they? 2 breaks. Third deuce here. Crucial stage of this opening set.
Let's for service.
The pressure's just building, isn't it? On the serve of
Advantage
Papamichail.
Team Bulgaria.
Good serve. 167.
Deuce.
Increase the service pace a fraction in this service game.
For my liking, Shinikova has just gone in and out of her aggression a little too much. She started to get a bit of traction by really stepping up and hitting through the ball. And again, it's just gone back to, but maybe that's the scoreboard pressure too, going back to that passive nature. More defending, chasing, running, instead of playing to win.
Well, there's a good example of it there. You just have to accept, Alicia, that if you're going to play aggressively like that, you're going to lose some points.
Yeah.
But on balance, you'll probably win more than you lose. And she looks more comfortable when she's aggressive.
Yeah, correct. You know, play to your strength more often. Really commit to the ball. Errors are fine. I think on the whole, when it evens out, you know, you're going to be in the positive. It's just great for your mindset as well.
Advantage Team Greece.
Again, just caught too deep in the court there, Shinikova. And when you have time on the ball, move up to it. Take time away from your opponent. Stefanos just coming to see a bit of the action. Maybe get a feel for the conditions.
Well, 6 deuce. We've only had the one break point. It's been
Deuce.
Papamichail's way so far, but you can see the time, this match, this game increasing, and they're getting hot in these conditions. Little timeout here to go to the towel.
Oh, that's just a hell of a serve.
Advantage
49
team
k's an hour.
Greece.
That's a pretty good number when you're trying to cut the ball and get it sliding out wide. The shorter you can allow the ball to bounce, it can carry further away from the returner. And look, just too many balls through the middle. Yes, maybe 1, 2 if you're under pressure, but when you have the choice, you just cannot continue to keep putting the ball right in that perfect strike zone of Shinikova. And that's what she's done a great job of, her preparedness to run around a lot more forehands. And it's hurting Papamichail.
Advantage team Greece.
Cool character, still got his jacket on.
Well, I was about to say, you can see the difference in the temperature. If you're out of the sun in the air conditioning, it's very pleasant indeed. If you're out on the court, not so much. And this game now, around 13 minutes.
Deuce.
A few more unforced errors too. To go deep into
Advantage
this game.
team Bulgaria.
Second break point now.
I'm not afraid to say it could be the match-winning game. It's pretty devastating, losing one at this length. I actually wanted to hit at Papamichail, just didn't follow through with her actions.
Well, it was always coming, wasn't it? That forehand of Shinikova gets the break.
Bulgaria.
Team Bulgaria lead 4-2.
Team Bulgaria lead 4 games to 2.
And what a way to step around there for Shinikova. Again, really positive with her footwork. You can see her throwing her body weight through her forehand. It's improved so much from the first couple of games of this set.
Well, just continue that positivity, I think, is the message. She broke in the fourth game, wasn't able to hold her serve, so crucial here to hold.
Love.
You can see the forehand speed. That sixth game, 127 k's average for the forehand. 11 kilometres an hour faster than the previous 5 games of this opening set. So if you're a captain on the bench, are you looking at those stats?
Yeah.
Information?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, probably what is most critical is, you know, to try and inform your player where their opponent is serving, the direction, the return of serve direction, so they can then get into position quicker. Even speeds come into play. Of course, you need to remain conscious, no information overload, but, you know, sometimes it's just a very fine line in terms of what someone on the side of the court is seeing or the way the player is interpreting it on the court. Maybe they're not looking down the other end enough.
So first double fault of the match for Shinikova. Again under pressure.
30-all.
That was a little more effort for Shinikova to skip around, create a forehand for herself, but it definitely paid dividends.
Paul McNamee on the left-hand side of screen there. Over here to enjoy the return of team competition in Perth, founder of the Hotman Cup.
Game. Team Bulgaria. New balls, please.
So a hold there, and Team Bulgaria lead 5-2.
Team Bulgaria lead 5 games to 2.
Talked about that crucial break, 5-2. The scoreboard pressure now becomes a thing, doesn't it, when you're hung in there for that long. Papamichail had the better of that service game too. 9 juices, just 2 breakpoint opportunities, so she had plenty of chances to put the game away. Opening encounter here at RAC Arena in Perth. It's between Team Greece and Team Bulgaria. Greece, the #1 seeds in the competition. Team Bulgaria coming in as the 15th seed. And Isabella Shinikova, 333 in the world, is putting on a good display here against the 29-year-old Despina Papamichail, 159 in the world. Greece, 5-2. Very warm conditions, approaching 35 degrees. Air temperature hotter than that on court here. Air-conditioned stadium, beautiful for the fans, for the commentators, for the officials. A little more difficult for the players. Big swings here from Shinikova, do you think? 5-2 up?
I think there's only one way. I mean, she's had success, absolutely. I'm actually
15
surprised
love.
for the length of time that Papamichail has probably continued to play really conservative, safe tennis. And I think when something's not working, you really have to change it up. And she's continued on the same path, very much plays the same game. It's been Shinikova that stepped it up.
30 love.
And it would have been soul-destroying too. You referred back to that long game. Often they are match deciders. Really difficult to erase those kind of disappointments out of your mind.
You have to, though. You're only down a
40
break.
love.
Yeah, yep.
It's only the first set. So whilst we're 43 minutes in and the scoreline is 2-5, hang in there. This has been a good service game.
That's where I think a real credit to Papamichail. Great body language.
Team Bulgaria lead 5-3.
Well, again there, Shinikova back into her shell slightly, not as positive as she has been. Papamichail holds to love. And this is where the ranking comes in. 333 in the world, serving for the set, start to get a little anxious. And some positivity.
Well, that was a great move from Papamichail. Really committed to come forward and early. Didn't wait to see where the ball went, but just took enough pace. This backhand volley, beautiful touch.
I love these little momentum shifts and the swings and roundabouts in tennis, point by point often, where one player looks the more positive, the other strikes back.
Tell you what, both players have done a pretty good job of keeping their emotions in check, no matter what they are feeling out on the court. I don't want to give too much away to your opponent, no matter how you feel.
So after all that's gone on for the past 45 minutes, a couple of set points. Now Isabella Shinikova gets Team Bulgaria off to a good start. Takes the opening set 6-3.
6-3.
Well, that was impressive. Enjoyable set of tennis. Some roller coaster emotions from both players. Papamichail hung in there. Shinikova always looked the more positive and the better player as we take a look at the statistics from the opening set.
Well, it was Despina Papamichail with a better first serve percentage, though. A little less pace on the second serve, which is where Shinikova was really able to make some ground. And look at that, 6 forehand winners for Shinikova to only 1 from Papamichail. And that's where she's really stepped up her game. She's stepping into the court, using her pace. And despite Papamichail creating 1 break point opportunity, she was able to just win one of those in that set, when I think, though, she could have really put her foot on the pedal and made more ground.
So we take a look at the first set highlights, and I think what we'll see here is when Shinikova's positive and lets the racket head flow, she creates a lot of winners. And if not the winner, she puts Papamichail under a lot of pressure. The speed of the return Team Bulgaria, their fans are up and about because Isabella Shinikova has taken the opening set here. 6-3 against Despina Papamichail for Team Greece. 47 minutes. Alicia Molik impressive for the world number 333.
Yeah, she's played a great brand and style of tennis, and after the first 15 minutes of the match really took command. I think the imparting words from her captain, Grigor Dimitrov, certainly helped her chances in that first set. You can just see Stefanos' father getting involved there. It's a great opportunity for the team bench to really encourage their charge and play.
Second set, Team Greece to serve.
So Papamichail will open proceedings in this second set. What does she need to do a little differently here?
I think she's got to start to match a bit more of the pace, be a little braver and sooner.
Love.
Well, we did have a chat with Grigor a couple of minutes ago, the playing captain, and after Shinikova just won that set, he's just gone off and to get ready for his big match against Tsitsipas coming up. So very different tactics from the two teams. Of course, he's the playing captain, has to get ready for his match. And just for Papamichail, she sometimes just looks a little bit in two minds, whether to be aggressive, whether to play a little bit more safe when she has gone for it. She's gone for too much. So I think it's just at the moment for her really hard just finding that range. And when she is aggressive, she just needs to play with a little bit more margin for her and within herself. She can still be aggressive, but not go for the lines too much. So let's see if she can do that here in the second set.
40-15.
And the way she does wind up on her forehand, that's exactly what she can do. She's able to create more width in the court, land the ball shorter, really open up her opponent. And another skill that Papamichail almost has displayed here in this match is she does have good hands and good feel with the ball. We saw the volley. She's hit a few really effective drop shots at the right time. Maybe mix in a few more of those, but really hasn't created space for herself to move forward much in this match. I'd love to see more of that.
Juice.
Just some of those unforced errors at pretty untimely spots in the game. Puts her under pressure, brings it back to Juice. Not longest game, the sixth game of the first set. 9 deuces, just the 2 breaks, just couldn't close it out.
Advantage, Team Bulgaria.
Just moved forward a little bit on the return of serve there too, Shinikova, and she's like a predator ready to pounce.
Game,
against
Team
the early
Bulgaria. First game, second set.
Let's take a look at the forehand placement from Shinikova, and you can see the speed's 130. Pretty difficult to play against, Alicia, because it's everywhere.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, it's completely dotted around the court, but it's been a real noticeable difference, hasn't it been? The fact that she stepped in a lot more, and plenty of those red dots towards, I guess, the latter part of the court, closer to the baseline. And that's really what you want to do against your opponent, particularly against a player like Papamichail, who has a big wind up on her forehand. If she can start getting more power and deeper, it's really going to try and create more errors off the racket from Papamichail.
It's interesting when you look at that, because you feel like there's been more depth than that graphic is showing.
I'd agree.
You kind of feel like the balls are a little deeper than they actually are.
She's getting good speed, and that's the main thing. It's really, again, it's shortening the length of time that Papamichail has to wind up. And she loves to take a big cut at the ball.
Yeah, the big thing there, what we talked about, they're not necessarily on the lines or really close to the lines, but she's getting so much pace, and it's a very flat shot as well. So you can actually see down here courtside, Papamichail is actually really on the back foot and getting pushed back behind the baseline a couple of meters. So while she's aggressive and hitting the ball, it's within herself. It's big margin for error.
Now building confidence too.
And you have to take, I think, into consideration here the heat as well. We heard Grigor talk about that as well with Shinikova, who we kind of felt like was really handling it well, but she did talk about that with him on the change of end. So with that one set lead, you just wonder with Papamichail, it really, from here, is a mountain to climb, isn't it, when it's 35 degrees out there.
All.
And to your point, Yelena, always
30,
the shorter the point, the better. It's just something every player has to weigh up, the risk and reward. But right now, it's certainly working for Shinikova.
So you've got to go to the mental locker room, and when they did play that one time in the ITF circuit, it was a three-setter. Papamichail lost the first set 3-6, won the next 6-3, and it was 7-6 in the third. So
I like that mental locker room.
Players don't forget. No one forgets a win or a loss.
40-30.
She's done a great job, Papamichail, to draw back and claw back to even. But then she just has a little bit more in her tank, doesn't she? Shinikova, a bit more firepower.
Game, Team Bulgaria.
it was a good service game. Consolidates the break. Team Bulgaria 2-love. Upper set.
Team Bulgaria lead by 2-love.
And that's what the great players do. When the moment calls for it, they're able to pull something special out of the bag. belief, pace, aggression. Best players play to win.
love.
Love the crowd reactions, and Shinikova winds up. You can see it coming. Really disappoints.
That's a perfect example, isn't it? Not going for the lines, but she's just really bringing the power, just really unloading. Look at that. Huge hitting, and really you can even see in the body language now growing in confidence with that break advantage in the second set.
$30-15.
Oh, that's one way to step in. It's taking initiative, and it's really trusting the shot. Really physical on the forehand, Papamichail then, and that's why she was able to get that kind of result. Let's look at the wind-up. So much pace generated from strength in her base.
Oh, that was unfortunate. Tape well and truly working in the favour of Team Bulgaria.
Game, Team Greece.
Papamichail on the
Team
scoreboard.
Bulgaria lead 2-1.
Well, I think Papamichail's growing a little confidence here. I just feel like that she was disappointed. Obviously, she lost the opening service game. As we take a look at Rottnest Island now, Alicia, I know you were there a couple of days ago.
Well, it's just a hop, skip and a jump. Just a 35-minute ferry ride it was from the B shed. Do you fancy an open water swim?
They
it's
do
only
that 19K.
Only
and people, they do the Rotto swim.
Oh, it's a fabulous place.
I can't swim 25 metres without having a break, so 19K would sort me out. Absolutely. Fantastic place. Car free, cycle around. The Quokkas, of course. Welcome back to RAC Arena in Perth. Opening encounter here between Team Greece and Team Bulgaria. Isabella Shinikova winning the opening set 6-3 against Despina Papamichail. I'm not writing her off. I just have a feeling that she's a fighter. We know that. But she's held serve strongly there after dropping her opening service game. Elena, what are you feeling down there?
Yeah, never over until that last point, isn't it? And that was a really important hold for her there as well. And just an interesting thing on the teams and just keeping an eye out on the captains. We said that Grigor went in to get ready for his match. Of course, he's got double duty. He's the playing captain, but now his coach, Jamie Delgado, he's out there for the Bulgarian team. He's taken over the reins. And for the Greek team, still most of the talking is done by Papamichail's coach, but he's getting a lot of feedback from Stefanos' father as well.
15 love.
He's down in the front row now, Apostolos. He's just about had every seat on that bench.
Yes, he has.
Very busy.
He's everywhere, does a lot of talking.
Oh, you can never have enough ideas in tennis. And that's the tricky part, deciphering and picking the most important parts of what exactly is going to help your game. I agree with both of you. Papamichail, definitely not a write-off. She's held her nerve, stayed positive, great body language. That's to be admired.
Tell you what, though, what Apostolos,
15.
of course, Stefanos' father is doing well. He's actually giving some of that feedback to Papamichail's coach, so he's not directly getting involved, so that they can figure out what they want to use and what not. So that's a really smart way of going about it, instead of having 3 or 4 voices going at you at the same time. And you know this, Alicia, as well as I do, you know, out there, sometimes when you're a player, you can be confused. So it's better to have some of that just really simple, important information than having too many voices in your head.
Well, it was clever. Came in on the good first lob.
30.
Didn't need to really do too much more. Gets a break point.
That's a great opportunity there for Shinikova to give this ball a little more height. The sun is right in the eyes of Papamichail. Did a great job there, not just to move back, but finesse the ball back short. Again, the great touch on display.
Yes.
Yeah, great point followed there by a letdown. It's been a bit of a constant theme throughout this match. Really have to stay tight on the next point after such a good one previously.
Let's pursue. Advantage, Team Bulgaria.
So when you won 22 titles on the ITF circuit, you have to be a closer. You have to have been able to close out matches. And Papamichail has won 15 titles herself. So they both know how to get the job done.
Juice.
Well, despite that, this is such a different experience for a player like Papamichail. Also playing in front of Stefanos is out there. Maria's watching. You want to perform and do really well for your compatriots as well. That adds so much added pressure, I think.
Just a little bit. Two top players watching.
Advantage
And being
Team
number one
Bulgaria.
seeds for the tournament as well. So they are notionally the favourites.
You know, on the flip side, it's great that sense of belonging to such an esteemed team with such a great track record.
And for Shinikova as well, you know, to have someone like Dimitrov as the captain as well, and you know, both of these players, both for Despina and Isabella, they would look up to Stefanos and Maria and Grigor, so it just adds that little bit of that extra layer in their head as well. There's so much of tennis is psychological, isn't it, out there?
Greece.
So you want to perform for your team, for your country. And they're both really giving it their all out there.
Second break point.
Juice.
I think it's, whether intentional or not, I think a smart serve from Shinikova to go to the forehand of Papamichail. Often she prefers to just stand there and plug with her backhand, doesn't really prefer to run around and hit forehands. And under pressure, well, you've got to find the side which you're going to target, and you have to be relentless. And for Shinikova, it's the forehand of Papamichail.
Advantage Team Greece.
Well, no matter where this serve goes, Papamichail's got to get the ball back into play.
And that's a real opportunity there. You have an opportunity to break back and still taking or leaving so much space between herself and the baseline. Papamichail, just to me, signifies she still wants to play it safe.
Well, it was well set up by Shinikova. It was an excellent drop shot. It was there. Court was wide open.
Advantage Team Greece.
Oh, there's two types of drop shot. One where you're in perfect position. The other type is when it's too hot and you want the point over. And that's the way you're going to finish the point one way or another. And I don't believe Shinikova was in the perfect position to play that shot.
Well, finally,
Game
four break
Team
points.
Greece.
Gets the break back. We're even in the second set.
2 games all.
Interesting little momentum shift.
That's what we said, didn't we? If Papamichail can hold that service game at 2-love, you just never know what can happen. You just got to continue asking, you know, that question of your opponent. Can they continue holding their serve, especially in conditions like this? You never know how your opponent's feeling. And I think for me, just looking at Shinikova at the moment, this is the first little bit of a drop I've seen in the body language, perhaps feeling the heat.
And I guess that's the mental hurdle too for Shinikova. She's got to earn every single point. Papamichail just being a bit of a brick wall at the back of the court, really content to rally. Just wearing her down now, isn't she, Elena? Papamichail doing a great job to really make this a physical contest against Shinikova.
Absolutely, and if you can just see Shinikova now at the back, just getting a little bit just in the shade there and just breathing a little bit heavier. This is the first time just here courtside I've seen this, and definitely she's also trying to shorten points, and you, Alicia, mentioned the drop shot where she was just trying to really shorten the points now in this match. Full credit to Papamichail. She's really sensed the moment.
15.
And that was a massive hold of serve there at tool up, gave her the confidence, and she's now looking like a different player.
It wasn't out of the middle, but it was effective.
30-all.
It was brave too, and really picked the serve up early. Had a limited pace, only 120 k's an hour, so enough time for Shinikova to skip around, make the most of her forehand. I'd like to see a lot more of that. Really is a second serve that lands incredibly short from the racket of Papamichail.
$40-30.
Now some emotion
Game
from Papamichail. Ahead on the scoreboard for the first time in this set. Team Greece 3-2.
Team Greece lead 3-2.
Well, some real emotion there from Despina Papamichail.
Talk about momentum shifts. She's really made a point here to stay positive. We can see it outwardly physical.
That's what a break back can do. It's a strange thing, isn't it, mentally? You know, we're on serve here in this set. So you talk about a momentum shift and you look at the scoreboard, really, there isn't one. But you just feel mentally that you had the break, you're up a set and a break, you've got the game on your racket, and then all of a sudden the ice sausage is out. First time we've seen it this summer. Well, what a roller coaster, and if you have a look at the demeanour of Isabella Shinikova, suffering a little more perhaps in this hot day in Perth, opening day of the United Cup at RAC Arena. had the ice sausage out.
Time.
Alicia, first time we've seen it this summer.
Didn't know it was called an ice sausage. Wouldn't it be great if there was an ice chair that you could just, like a big giant lounge chair that you just sit in, rest your arms up, lay your legs on, just completely encases you in ice.
You talk about the momentum shift and Papamichail running out to the court. We're on serve here, but that break early had Shinikova up a set and a break, and then the break back, and all of a sudden the momentum feels like it's with Papamichail, Team Greece.
It'd be great for us to have some ice chairs down here as well. I tell you what, though, definitely Shinikova, it definitely looks like she's suffering now a little bit, and this could be the key next couple of games, 2 or 3 games, in the way that this set will play out.
Love 15.
Well, I'm definitely seeing Papamichail make contact with the ball a lot closer to the baseline when both players are engaging in a baseline rally. And that's the reason why she was able to hit such a good shot, took the recovery time away.
Let's first serve. $15 all.
That was a great level of skill from Shinikova on the stretch. And just played the squash shot. Now it's so commonplace in tennis, and such a bonus if you do possess that shot. It was almost an offensive forehand slice there. Just keeps you in the rally, holds you in the point, resets it.
Service games haven't been easy. There's only been one service game to love. And the 8th game of the opening set was Papamichail who held serve to love, but the rest of the service games have been endurance tests. Good strategy for Papamichail. That forehand on the move from Shinikova, she does tend to drag it into the net if she's not set.
Yeah.
With that big forehand. I've seen a few of those where she's moving cross court and just doesn't get her feet in the right spot.
A few big steps at the end, just out of position. Absolutely spot on.
Game, Team Greece.
So the break comes. 4-2.
Team Greece lead 4-2.
Well, Shinikova now definitely, she's trying to shorten the points. The issue you have when you hit as hard and as flat as her, she's really now going more for the lines than she was, and it's flying on her, especially in these hot conditions. That's where a lot of these unforced errors are now coming from. So it really needs to go back to what she did well in the first set and just construct the point a little bit more.
Let's was
The issue, though, for her at the moment, can she do that? She's feeling the heat. Can she extend those rallies? It's really turning into a physical battle.
love.
Again, a really similar forehand, referring to earlier, on the run, on the stretch, doesn't cut off the forehand with her movement. Shinikova, a few really big, heavy steps towards the end, so it's almost impossible to get in the perfect type of position.
30 love. $30-15.
A great initiative, but really tough shot here, especially when the ball is bouncing quite high, accelerating off from the serve. But incredible effort right throughout this match from Papamichail. Something to admire, really. She's been clean. Anytime she's moved forward or been able to take a ball out of the air, she's come up with a very great shot. Smart decision, using the short court really wisely.
See there, doesn't mind coming in. Good record when she makes the foray. Well blown. Very well played.
Game.
Now,
Team
after being
Greece,
down a
new
break,
balls,
races out
please.
to a 5-2 lead in this second set.
Team Greece lead 5-2.
So this will be a popular spot on a day like today. This is Alicia Mollak's backyard at Cottesloe. Beautiful beaches. Magnificent ocean.
Pristine water, that's what I love about it, especially if you can get in there for a swim before the Fremantle Freo Doctor hits, before the breeze comes in. Just such a special place.
Are they there?
I only saw some whales just a few months ago in those exact waters. We're looking at a beautiful place, Indiana Tea House in the background. Know what you'll be doing on your day off.
Yeah, I'm not a big swimmer. And as a former long jumper, ridiculously, I'm not that fussed about the sand either. The hotel pool, though, we don't get days off, Alicia.
We'll convert you yet, don't worry.
So Team Greece and their fans are up and about because Despina Papamichail, after being down an opening service break in this second set, has fought her way back to have a 5-2 lead. There's a lot of discussions at both team benches.
Time.
Closing in on an hour and a half of this encounter, opening Group A match between Team Greece and Team Bulgaria. Shinikova now serving to stay in this second set.
Love 15. All.
This is still such an important game for Shinikova to hold serve. Even if she doesn't end up breaking in the next one, it will give her the opportunity to start serving first in the third set. So still such a huge game here for her to try and also settle and get back to some of that tennis that she was playing earlier on.
It also forces Papamichail to serve to win the set as well, which provides a different mental challenge.
(40-15).
New balls here too, a little more fiery.
Yeah. Tend to shoot off, travel through the air a lot quicker. Great for the server.
Game, Team Bulgaria.
Well, that's one of the easiest service games Shinikova has had.
Team Greece leads 5 games to 3.
So sets the challenge for Despina Papamichail to serve for the set.
Love 15.
Oh, great serve out wide, created a lot of space for herself. Just really charged at that ball, mistiming it. I like the way she's gone about it though. Positive right from the start, the onset here.
All. (30-15).
Pretty clean, pretty tough from Papamichail. Important now to keep her service speed up. Don't really want to let your opponent get a sniff or an edge in here. First serve percentage crucial.
All.
So after one double fault in the opening set, first double fault in this second set at a most inopportune time.
30-40.
And it is a bit tight. It's playing the scoreboard just a little bit anxious. It's got to this point by really biding her time, waiting for the right ball, setting herself up.
A couple of points ago, Shinikova pressed a little hard, hit a little long. That time just getting the ball back, and sometimes just wait for your opponent, see what they do when they're under pressure.
Game, Team Bulgaria.
Gets the break back.
Team Greece lead 5-4.
Not 100% certain I saw that one coming.
What a change in momentum. But again, Papamichail just not stepping up enough. And again, Shinikova just reverting back to the simple fact, getting plenty of balls back, being a bit of a brick wall. Mentioned sometimes that's just enough.
Particularly if you can feel that tension on the other end. And there was just that point where she pressed, tried to hit the winner and didn't pay off, and then reverted to, you know, often just waiting for an opponent to make the mistakes, not a winning strategy, but it was on that occasion.
I think she sensed the nerves, didn't she, from Papamichail? Shinikova did a good read on her opponent. Played the moment correctly. That makes a world of difference, that bit of ice, I tell you.
Another momentum shift here in this opening encounter between Team Greece and Team Bulgaria. Isabella Shinikova taking the opening set 6-3.
Time.
Despina Papamichail's service in the opening game of the second set looked like she was going to be in command. Papamichail fighting back, broke a couple of occasions. But now, back on serve. Elena Dokic is courtside, and in these brutal conditions, you just feel it's got 5 degrees cooler for Shinikova here with that break back.
And it got 5 degrees hotter for Papamichail.
Love 15.
Still for me here, though, if Papamichail can get a couple of returns in and still step in and be aggressive, especially if she gets a couple of second serves, she will have that, I think, opportunity to break. She's done it before.
2 service breaks apiece in this second set.
Let's second serve.
And that is
Love 30.
a double fault, and she's just also, I think, feeling her quads as well, not quite able to get up for that serve, so she went for it a lot more, brought up the double fault. So a big opportunity here for Papamichail.
It's the first double of this second set. Had 1 in the first. Well, her service action's completely changed. There was no extension, no push.
Love 40.
Limited and no leg drive.
Yeah, you can really see it here courtside. Really no leg drive. She's really struggling with the left, like the left quad is really giving her some problems here. Perhaps cramping. I guess we'll see how it turns out.
And saves the first of the set points.
15.
Well, it makes moving forward clear, doesn't it? Try and hit yourself out of trouble. And sometimes that's just enough, but full commitment there into the backhand. And maybe the heat's just wreaking havoc on her body.
Well, serving lollipops now. Well, with the double, disappointing ending to the second set.
6 games to 4.
Papamichail gets Team Greece back on level terms here. It's a set apiece.
Ladies and gentlemen, the physio has been called to the court.
So the physio on the way out, and such a rapid turn. We talked about the drop in temperature virtually, of course, after breaking back, and then all of a sudden issue with the quad or the hip flexor. Take a look at the stats of the second set. First serve percentage way down for Papamichail. It was up to 78% in the first set, 48% in the second.
She really did a great job to commit to moving forward. Talk about her great feel and hands and ability to put the ball where her opponent isn't. Look at that, 5 from 7, net points 1. It's really an area where Papamichail has made a lot of ground. And I would love to see that courtcraft on display a lot more. Always difficult too, these moments when your opponent is seemingly injured as well. Really important to stay focused on your game, what you're doing well, your intentions in the next couple of games when you do return to the court of play.
Taking a look at the second set highlights here after being broken on her opening service game. Fought back, looked like she had the ascendancy, and then in the 9th game of that set, Shinikova broke back, but final service game, problems with the quad, hip flexor, left leg, service power vanishing. Didn't get a first serve in that final service game, and now getting some treatment.
She definitely lost speed and agility moving out to her forehand wing, did Shinikova. And obviously really uncomfortable there, especially on her service motion. And we do know that so much of your power is generated from the ground. The power and coil through your legs. But an opportunity here for an injury timeout. Physio given the opportunity as well to assess and tape.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team Bulgaria are now receiving a medical timeout.
Herself the best opportunity to return to the court with some level of health to compete.
As we mentioned before, the only time these two have met took place last year, October, at the ITF event in Tunisia, round of 16. And it was a 3-set victory. Here's the service action. There's just nothing doing there at all. Flat-footed completely on that left leg. No extension. So this becomes a tough spot. Opening match of the season. A lot ahead. Playing for your country, not just yourself. Hot day, difficult conditions. Former world number 3 sitting behind, who's now the captain, Igor Dimitrov.
definitely looks like something more sinister than just a few cramps, potentially from the heat. Such a difficult part or area of the body to tape as well, especially when it's potentially a deep set strain or aggravation. Sometimes just mentally having the tape there, you feel a lot more secure with your movement, trust yourself a little bit more. And a great opportunity, by the way, to reset and reload.
So we're in a medical timeout here for Team Bulgaria. Isabella Shinikova, she won the first set 6-3, 47 minutes. Match duration now, hour 44, close to an hour for the second set. Which had a lot of momentum shifts. Team captain Igor Dimitrov, he'll be up against Stefanos Tsitsipas in the next match. We mentioned sort of early in that second set, Alicia, when it was the third game, when Papamichail held serve in a long service game to get herself back onto the scoreboard, then broke in the fourth game, had 4 break points before she was able to get back on equal terms. And from that point, you kind of felt like she was back in charge.
Well, again, revert back to body language. She remained positive, never once dropped her bundle or her shoulders. And despite Shinikova being up on the scoreboard for the majority of this match, up until this point, really has been Papamichail with the grunt and the determination, showing it outwardly, even with her voice to her bench. It's a big mountain now for Shinikova.
So players returning to court here.
Final sets. Team Greece to serve.
So deciding set about to get underway here after a medical timeout for Isabella Shinikova. There's an early test of the left quad.
15 love.
Certainly still looks a little proppy.
Thirty love.
That was the right move, continuing the same fashion where she had success. Shinikova running around for the forehand. Didn't look completely comfortable again. She showed she can have a target she can hit out, and now is the opportune time to really, I think, up the ante with her aggression. Try and cut down how much she's required to move at the back of the court.
Good movement there. Signs of life.
Well, it was almost a surprise she Managed to get to the first short ball here. Did a great job to pick this one up. And then great anticipation.
(40-30).
Papamichail indicating that it might have been wide, but inside the line. Right on the line. It's interesting, this movement though from Shinikova, because she wasn't able to serve at all. It was, you know, such a crucial game. It dragged herself back into it, serving to stay in the set. Virtually no movement at all. This opening game, after a bit of treatment, she's okay. Not 100%.
Oh, that's a great move forward by Shinikova. Just not hesitating. And I think that's probably one area where it doesn't bother her to move forward. A little different moving out to her forehand side, but sometimes what a bit of taping can do, give you the sense of security, a bit like a Band-Aid. Always feel that much better when you've placed one on. Back on track.
Well, as she did in the second set, gets the opening break.
Game Team Bulgaria.
Team Bulgaria. Fans back into it.
First game, final sets.
If you're actually predicting the script here, you'd be in a lot of trouble, wouldn't you? Because it hasn't gone to the plan that you would think it would. Now, Grigor got a bit more to say. Legs okay. Put that out of your mind. Get on with it.
And also for Papamichail, it's always so incredibly difficult to play against an opponent that is even so slightly wounded or injured.
Yelena, I noticed during the break you were deep in the Team Greece camp. How are they feeling?
Well, Mr. Tsitsipas always has a lot to say, which is great for us, but fantastic of him to give us his time. But yeah, I think you're right, Alicia. You just got to be careful when you are playing someone that perhaps you think is injured, because it's in your mind. You got to continue playing your game and not expect for them to go down. And I think for Papamichail, she tried to play a couple of drop shots there and test the movement. Didn't work, because for Shinikova, she's not having any issues coming forward. I think it's more side movement and the serve.
She's still got no power at all, has she, here? So this is a big concern. So you just wonder on the service action here whether it's the motion of the serve that's just putting, whether it's a nerve issue or it's just she can't even get the hand up in the air.
I guess for the serve, you're really engaging your legs and your quads to elevate yourself and push your body weight up, and that's really where she's protecting her body.
It's like the full swing can't go through the range at all.
Plus she gets a foot fault called. she really can't push off that left leg. So I think at the moment she's not using her legs at all and just trying to roll that serve in.
Yet her movement on return of serve was impacted. She's not in 100% condition, no doubt, but not this sort of situation.
I mean, you might think this is ridiculous, but is this where players need to practice varieties of underarm serves for the times that you're limited and
absolutely
something's taken away from you? It may be more effective than a serving overarm.
Game, Team Greece.
Well,
1 game all.
It's not something my coach ever made me practice. I don't think many players do practice it. There's very few on tour.
Well, not many use it in actual matches as well, do they? So unless you're practicing it as well, you're not going to use it in matches. But this is one of those situations where it probably would be better for her just to do a couple of underarm serves. I tell you what, for Papamichail, it's not easy seeing your opponent like this either, is it? You just got to stay focused. Got to stay focused and not think that you have the upper hand just because you're seeing your opponent and they're struggling and they're injured. So she just needs to continue being aggressive and not let up here and not look too much on the other side either, because there's a lot going on.
just wonder whether this has got much more to go. This is where the coach is able to come out into the court. You can come out and have the conversation. Looks like the strapping might be...
If it's cramping, you have to keep playing.
No, she's got cramping.
Okay.
So the umpire said if it's cramping.
Wait. For service. Thank you.
So Grigor asked if he can help her, and then the umpire said if it's cramping, you cannot.
But just to be clear, that was for her hand.
50
Yes. She's stretching.
It's her left hand, and if you have a closer look, she's actually got a brace on her left hand.
Right there.
You have to be ready when she's going to show. Okay? You can't tell her she's not.
There's a bit going on here, isn't there?
30,
There's problems with the left leg, right wrist. Really struggling.
40-15.
Shinikova. Cramp in the hands, normally something that only afflicts students in exams. I think she...
You can concede the points and go to an exchange over, but you can't get treatment until a
She's definitely really struggling. Does make me wonder, though, if she is cramping in the right hand, Shinikova, why Papamichail is allowing her to hit so many two-fisted backhands. I'd be feeding her forehands all day long. It's tough, but you're out there to try and win any way you can.
Well, compassion is a natural human condition, isn't it? But it's incompatible with sport. You have to just remove that natural emotion. And
Well, it's very important for Papamichail here and in the next game or two, really not to look too much into what's happening on the other side. Just stay focused on her side of the court and her team as well.
Game, Team Greece.
So Papamichail wasn't easy, but gets there, 2-1. Just think about this weather as well. When you look at the change in temperature, we haven't had a particularly hot summer here. For Bulgarians, it's 1 degree in Plovdiv overnight, but it's still cool. So you come here and it's really hot. This is the first really hot day that they've had. And it does have an impact.
Well, it's not a matter of taking 2 or 3 days to adjust, but often it can take a number of weeks to get accustomed to this type of weather. And when your body needs to operate at full tilt in this type of heat, and it's magnified too on these types of courts. And once cramping starts, we do know it never lets up. And by the time you are dehydrated, often there isn't enough time within the duration of a tennis match to get the hydration back.
So the full resources of the medical team surrounding Isabella Shinikova here. Bulgarian in the opening set. 6-3, lost the second set 4-6. Fought her way back into that. But has had troubles with this left quad and then the right hand as well. But you just wonder whether there's much more to go here. How much more can she endure? And at the other end, Despina Papamichail, Greece is she's a bit of a warrior. No signs of any issues whatsoever, and she's going to bounce out of the team zone here, leading 2-1. So we've dispensed with the tape now for Shinikova.
And I think it's not even just that leg that we talked about, which is clearly there's a bit of an injury there, but it's just all over body cramps that it looks like that's what's happening. And it doesn't help because, you know what, Papamichail, she was up out of the chair quickly. She really is full of energy, bouncing around, a lot of intensity, and that never helps when you see that on the other side of the court.
Elena Dokic courtside, and this is the difficulty for Team Bulgaria, the serve here.
It's almost a left-handed, one-handed backhand, wasn't it? And of course we know cramps too can be brought on by, you know, anxious moments or nerves, but I think it's pure conditions today.
That was definitely a left-handed forehand, yeah.
That's where hydration, preparation is just key and so important. It's absolutely critical to high performance. Making sure you get enough electrolytes in. Often players, when they cramp, do go to the pickle juice. Don't know what it is about pickle juice. But
don't know. I've never had it. In fact, I've made a resolution never to have it.
I've heard it gives the nervous system a bit of a shock.
Really?
More than anything.
Does it work for commentators?
I think so.
Yelena, have you ever had
at the end of the week?
Ever had the pickle juice?
Well, we didn't have pickle juice in our time, Alicia. That says how old we are. No, I haven't tried it. I did get Tony Jones to try it, so apparently it's not that great, but it really helps. Apparently it prevents the cramping before it actually starts.
It's a no from me.
You won't be trying it anytime soon?
Well, I'll just try and prevail.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah. There's another
Game,
break.
Team Greece. Team Greece lead 3 games to 1.
So it's been a long time. Lost the last game of the second set to Love. Last 2 games as well here. Breaking serve.
Oh, she's so wounded is Shinikova, but she does still, I think, possess the ability to hit herself out of a bit of trouble.
You haven't given up on her yet?
No, absolutely not.
It's hard to see with the way she's serving that she can find a way out of this. There are glimpses, though, little moments where she does look like she's got the movement. So the tough situation for Team Bulgaria here with more matches to come. Yeah. Opening encounter of the season, not going the way she would have liked physically. We do have Gagana Topalova, 321 in the world, on the team bench.
About 30-15.
And a real reluctance to move forward. Obviously, more exertion on the legs. And quad, no doubt, bothering her so much. But I think it's more the cramping now. And again, so important for Papamichail to direct more traffic to the forehand of Shinikova.
(40-15).
Credit to Shinikova too. She's hanging there, giving this absolutely everything, isn't she? And that's what happens when you play for your country. Give it everything you've got and then some more. Incredibly meaningful for her today, along with the whole Bulgarian team.
Carry on. Game, Team Greece.
So another service hold for Papamichail. 4-1 now in this third set. So Apostolos now has taken over. He's issuing the instructions. And as we've discussed, his message there, play your tennis. Don't worry about what's going on at the other end. Play your game.
She's doing a pretty good job, Papamichail. Really has stayed composed throughout. Ever important now in these closing stages, but she did falter early on with opportunity. I think a very different set of circumstances now. They're really in the commanding position.
So 4-1 is the lead for Team Greece here. And Despina Papamichail with a wounded Isabella Shinikova of Team Bulgaria. I'm just wondering, both Yelena and Alicia, team coaches on the side, is it worth discussing the underarm serve here to give yourself a chance? Because she hasn't won a point, I don't think, this set on serve.
Look, it is, but it's just also a matter of, is she comfortable doing that? I don't think you can force something, you know, on someone if she's not comfortable doing that at all. So it's ultimately, I guess, down to the player. So it was interesting with them. Stefanos' dad as well. It was to Papamichail, play your game, just focus on your side of the court. And he said a couple of times, just keep on dancing. So interesting to hear that. And I like what Apostolos is doing as well, Stefanos' dad. He's not going in too much. He's giving a little bit of just positive feedback and a little bit of energy, and then he's also letting Papamichail's coach go in with the actual tactics. So they've got a really good communication and plan going on there.
Keep on dancing, hey. Well, her favourite artist is Beyonce, so she's got a fair playlist to work through.
Alicia, did any coach ever tell you to keep on dancing?
I wouldn't have known where to start with that one if they had, Elaine. But I think that there's no doubt when you're playing that the positivity that your playing box or player zone emits onto the court, it helps you. It helps you rise. It rises to the occasion, gives you energy.
I wouldn't know where to go with that one, Alicia, either. I know what they would mean. It's about the, positivity, but I'd get them to use something else because dancing wouldn't have won me the match, that's for sure.
Stick to playing her game, her way. And she's improved right throughout this match, hasn't she, Papamichail?
You can see that first serve average speed dissipated completely.
All.
Bit frustrating for Papamichail, the unforced errors and occasional winner from Shinikova. 30 all. Not as easy as it seems, is it, to put your opponent away in this situation?
Doing a great job with her change of direction and ball movement. There's Shinikova making Papamichail work incredibly hard.
Oh, that's the best shot of the match so far.
I'll tell you what, Papamichail's physicality as we go further and further in this match, she's just getting better and better and more comfortable. We heard Apostolos say that she is a physical player and physicality plays a big part in her tennis, and we're definitely seeing it.
Yeah, as the conditions have got hotter and the match has gone on, she's got stronger. I love the reaction to that.
And it's interesting because early on in the match, we felt like maybe she was expanding more energy, but that was all the nerves, and she was quite nervous and tight early on. But once she's settled, you can see that she has no issues with these conditions. Papamichail loves that out here.
This has been the most competitive service game in the last four forays to the service line for Team Bulgaria. Still a break point, though.
Oh, wow. Shinikova showing exactly what she's made of. Papamichail making it really tough. I feel like she's keeping the ball relatively deep, but that is the danger zone. That backhand wing of Shinikova really does strike it incredibly sweetly.
And that's the danger with players that hit their way out of trouble, and when their back is against the wall, it's shots like that. If they start to go in, it can be extremely dangerous.
Too good.
Advantage, team
Up a second
Greece.
break point. You don't think it's possible for the comeback here, but the service speeds increased significantly for Shinikova. Another foot fault.
Game, team Greece.
Oh, that might be a bridge too far. Another break.
New balls,
5-1
please.
for Team Greece.
Team Greece lead 5 games to 1.
She'll have the benefit of new balls serving for the match.
Pretty gritty effort from Shinikova to stay a constant through this match. So many battles with her body, but finding a way, trying to hang in there.
Balls this way, please. Thank you.
It almost
Ball boy.
seems that Papamichail's
Ball boy.
just getting stronger as this match goes further.
Well, certainly at the start of the second set when she lost her opening service game there, it was down a break. Looked like this result was not going to go the way of the #1 seeds, Team Greece. But here we are, Despina Papamichail serving for the match. Well, a good saying. When you're treading on thin ice, you may as well tap dance, and that's what she's doing now. Some
Love
big
15.
swings.
So that's the forehand of the match from the racket, Shinikova. She hit that now. Makes you wonder how good she could be if she struck the ball in the first moment of this match exactly like that.
– 15 all. Thirty, 15.
Just wide, and that will bring up
40, 15.
a couple of match points. Well, the top seeds open their account here at the United Cup. Despina Papamichail. It was an endurance test, but she gets the win in 3 sets. 3-6, 6-4, 6-1. There's a wounded Shinikova for Team Bulgaria, but full credit to Papamichail, who endured, hung in there, and took out the win.
Oh, it was a tremendous effort, wasn't it, from Papamichail. Really had to weather the storm, stayed pretty tough and started to gain some serious momentum towards the end. And she's congratulated by the entire team. Greece, great win for her to start off their campaign. And brilliant for Stefanos to follow on from that great performance.
Well, she's going to have some more difficult encounters up against Team Belgium. Alison van Uytvanck is their second player, ranked 54 in the world. And for Shinikova, well, she's going to have some recovery to do. Looked like she may have had the match in her command early in the second set.
It was a brave effort from that woman, gallant performance, that woman in picture. But you mentioned the recovery time from Shinikova.
Let's go down to Yelena, who's with our winner, Despina Papamichail.
Despina, congratulations. What a match. A set and a breakdown. How did you manage to get out of that one?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very happy to win this match, especially for my country. I was a bit stressed. I mean, I was the first match on. I'm playing with a really strong team. Stefanos and Maria are a big example for me and for the whole country. So the least I could do is fight my heart out and win for Greece.
Now, I want to ask you about the conditions. It's very hot out there. First match of the year. How did you find the conditions? How's the body feeling? Because you looked like you got better and better as the match went on.
Yeah, I mean, I put really good work in the pre-season. My fitness coach, Borja, with my coach Robert and my psychologist Lucia. So I was not feeling everything. We have a sign, let's say, like everything is good for us. That's the team spirit. So everything is good. It's hot, it's cold, it's everything. I'm staying there, whatever it comes.
Okay. Now, you mentioned it. You are in a very special team. Maria Sakkari, Stefanos Tsitsipas, champions, Greek superstars. What is it like to be in the team with them?
I mean, it's a big honor, to be honest. They have achieved things that no one have ever imagined before for my country, and it's a really honor to be with them, and I'm learning from them every day, and yeah, I'm looking forward for the next challenges.
Okay. Now, you've been in Perth for a couple of days. Your team was able to go around and have a little bit of fun. How did you find Perth so far?
Yeah, I love it. Thank you for the organization for organizing us the helicopter ride to the island. It was lovely. I mean, you are treating us super well. You're doing a great job. So I want to thank everybody, and I want it to keep going better. Okay.
Well, you've done a great job. You've given Greece a 1-love lead. Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Despina Papamichail.
Well, an engaging personality, respectful of her teammates and the opportunity that she's got here. And a good win for Despina Papamichail. And she gets her season off to a winning start. And a confidence booster too, Alicia, in difficult conditions that she will probably expect here for the rest of the week at least, and then as the summer goes on. So it's a good start.
I think the most important point as well, and building on from what Yelena said, she continued to get better throughout this match. Her game improved, serve speed kicked on. She was a real fighter out on court. I think that's going to be a huge confidence booster, as you mentioned, that really propel her forward in this event. And the pride and prestige of playing in front of those names that we've mentioned so many times can only really boost her confidence and career. Again, the belonging at this level she now feels.
So winning smile. Let's take a look at the match summary. 2 hours and 19 minutes. And really the statistics for Shinikova affected by the injury, the last game of the second set, and then throughout the third set. Unforced errors increasing significantly. Serve percentage pretty stable for Papamichail.
She went for break, didn't she? She had to, Shinikova, but it was such a solid performance from Papamichail. The willingness to come forward, 7 out of created 12 break points for herself. So that's significant in a 3-set match. Really contained her number of unforced errors, but it was Shinikova who had to go for more at the end. This woman in picture prevailed today.
So Alicia Molik, thank you. Jelena Dokic likewise. Plenty more to come from RAC Arena in Perth as the United Cup continues. But it's the top seeds getting off to a winning start here with Despina Papamichail in 3 sets.